Carlos Contreras Legaspi para ESPN Deportes con Raquel Pennington, que estará peleando por el título de las 135 libras este sábado en UFC 297 ante Mayra Bueno-Silva. Raquel, first of all, congratulations for this opportunity to fight for the belt again. But tell me how hard it was for you all this waiting, all this long year. You knew you had this fight with Aldana, then they changed, then it all made sense for you to fight against Juliana. Then Juliana also got injured, or she stayed injured, and now you got Mayra, who no one knew she was going to be able to fight because she had a suspension. So tell me about this whole year and now how happy you are to be fighting for the belt again.
It's been a journey, to say the least. I mean, you summed it up pretty well. There's been some things in there that absolutely didn't make sense. But for me, I feel like with my career, it's just about trusting the process and embracing the journey. I feel like we can have a vision board and we can want it a certain way, but that's not always how it works. And instead of having these expectations and then it leading to disappointment, I just, I cut that part out and I've rode the waves. And so that's pretty much what I've been doing. And this last year anyways has been a lot. With the whole change that happened and Aldana getting pulled up for the world title fight, none of that made sense to me. But at the end of the day, I had my daughter on the way. And so life works out the way that it's truly meant to be. And I feel like the stars have truly aligned. That's exciting for me. The last year has given me the opportunity to become a mom, really focus on my personal life. And, the motivation that it has brought it's a totally different ballgame. So it worked out.
If you look, I mean, you're riding a five fight win streak. You're leader now in a lot of the active bantamweight categories now, in the wins and a lot of significant categories. So it makes sense for you to fight for the belt. What do you think about Mayra? Because she's been in the division for a short amount of time, but she's coming off a big win against Holly Holm. What do you think about her as another challenger?
She's a challenge, right? She brings a different challenge to the table. I absolutely love that as an athlete. I love the different challenges, and every female has that. For me, I feel like she truly is. This is going to be a true challenge for her. You know what I mean? She's hasn't experienced what the top 10 has to offer. I've been in the UFC now for 10 years or something like that, and majority of my career has been spent in the top 10. I fought in the best in the world. Her last fight was against Holly Holm, and that was her first top 10 opponent. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, Holly doesn't have that it anymore. So she's on her way out, and I feel like, it's great confidence booster for Bueno-Silva, and she's riding her win streak and everything else. But at the end of the day, I mean, I really think she's in for a rude awakening.
You always shown good boxing and a great fight IQ, but how much have you changed? How much have you grown as a fighter after your loss against in your first title fight? How different you think you are? I mean, not just to get the belt this time, but to be a champion, for a long.
Honestly, I've just embraced my greatness. I've embraced the journey and I've trusted in my abilities. I had to overcome a lot of things as a person. And so there's a lot of growth in it. And being where I'm at now, I mean, I'm 35. I feel like I'm truly in my prime. Like I said, I mean, that first world title fight, there was a lot going into that. I was coming off an 18-month layoff. There's injuries. I sustained a pretty bad injury from an accident when we were originally scheduled to fight in December, and then we had to push the fight out. And there's just so much that went into that. But at the end of the day, that's in the rearview mirror. I'm nowhere near that athlete or that person. And, I've just had time to truly just grow. My biggest thing for this fight camp was I have a huge toolbox. Everybody categorizes me as this brawler and as a striker. But at the end of the day, I'm a completely well-rounded fighter. And I haven't had to show a bunch of that. So the big thing for me and the challenge for me was I want to open my toolbox. I want to show all these beautiful tools that I have. And so this camp, that's what I focused on. We put together a game plan and doing the different things that I have to offer. But at the end of the day, it was about having fun, slowing down, opening that toolbox, and just being a well-rounded mixed martial artist.
Well, you always embrace your Mexican heritage. You were the Mexican kid in some of your fights. So tell me, and obviously you're with Tisha, who's also a great Latina fighter who embraced her heritage. So how good is you think is this moment for being a Latino in the UFC, like to represent Latin countries, even if you were born in the States and everything, but to be a Latino in the UFC? Because probably when you arrived here 10 years ago, it wasn't like this, right?
It wasn't anything like this. It's really cool to see where the sport has grown. You know, it's actually cool to get respect. I don't think a lot of people realize like my Latina side, and they're like, because I remember before it was like I wanted to fight in Mexico, and they're like, well, we need a Mexican fighter to fight you, and I was like, you guys do realize like I have Mexican heritage, like what's happening here? And so, you know, just to have that warrior spirit and everything, and then to see where, I mean, you have the Mexican champions and stuff. So, you know, I know that they were looking for Aldana to be another Mexican champion, but at the same time, like, I'm here to represent. And that means everything to me, you know?
Raquel Pennington en contra de Mayra Bueno-Silva este sábado en UFC 297.